Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Thunderdome. I am your Thunderdome investing analyst, David Gibson, and we have some pretty big news on this episode. As always, these videos are entertainment and educational purposes only. I'm not a financial advisor, and nothing discussed here should be taken as investment advice. Always do your own research and talk to a licensed professional before investing on your own. With that said, we have a few topics on the list. Cancer treatment, upward trends, a new stock to monitor? Everything will be covered and discussed, so stick around to the end to find out just which company I could be talking about. Kicking this episode off, we have a brand new press release from Iovance Therapeutics. New real-world data that Iovance just released shows that nearly half of patients with advanced melanoma responded to their groundbreaking cell therapy, Amtagvi. In a study of 41 patients who had already been treated with checkpoint inhibitors, 48.8% had a clinical response to Amtagvi. If you missed the last episode where I introduced Iovance and their cell therapy, Amtagvi is a personalized T-cell therapy which was the first of its kind approved for solid tumors. It uses your body's own immune cells, trained and expanded outside of the body, then reinfused to fight the cancer. And get this, in patients who received it earlier, after just 1 or 2 treatments, the response rate jumped to over 60%. Doctors say these results support using Amtagvi earlier in treatment rather than a last resort, which is exactly what I was thinking was going to be the case. Get patients to the therapy earlier and the response rate will rise rapidly. So what's the biggest upside with Iovance? Moving the therapy earlier in treatment lines. I think if Iovance were to do this, they would see success rates skyrocket to 40% or even higher. These are obviously very encouraging numbers for Iovance, but even more encouraging for patients suffering with advanced melanoma. So overall, a very encouraging press release out of Iovance, and it's going to continue to be one of the companies most talked about on this channel. Moving right along, we're going to go take a look at our Mad Max of the channel, which is Anavex Life Sciences, and how they're doing. Over the last week, Anavex has moved from $10 per share at the close of July 7th to over $11.47 at the time of this recording on July 14th. This is some pretty good movement into the right direction for Anavex. To give Anavex some context for this video, Anavex Life Sciences is a biopharmaceutical company focused on developing oral small molecule therapies for a range of disorders. But for this video, I am referencing their Alzheimer's drug, blarcamesine, specifically. They completed phase 2B and 3 trials in early Alzheimer's, which slowed cognitive decline and reduced brain atrophy. Now circling back to the stock price, I believe Anavex will continue to move in this direction as a result of some kind of FOMO, or fear of missing out on the November, December, early 2026 approval by the EMA and what they decide to do with Anavex. Investors are going to want to jump on the ship before it leaves the dock by the end of the year, because if blarcamesine were to get EMA approval, let's just say Anavex won't be trading at $11 next July. Now it's time to get into the juicy stuff. Here in the Thunderdome, we like to carry 3 stocks at a time. But last week we had a bit of a shakeup in our portfolio. Verona Pharma was sold on the morning of July 9th and will no longer be a part of our portfolio moving forward. So that leaves a new spot for a company to join Iovance and Anavex on the channel. That's why just for the next few days, I'm incorporating the Replimune group into our trio. But David, what do you mean by just for the next few days? Let me go ahead and break it down. Replimune is a biotech company focused on developing oncolytic immunotherapies, a class of therapies that use engineered viruses to kill tumors and stimulate the immune system to attack cancer throughout the body. Their RPX platform uses a modified HSV-1 backbone engineered to selectively kill tumor cells while activating systemic anti-tumor immunity. Back in January, the FDA accepted the BLA for RP1 in combination with nivolumab for patients with advanced melanoma. The BLA was granted priority review by the FDA with a PDUFA date of July 22, 2025, which, as you know, is just a week away from today. With an impending decision coming soon, there's going to be a ramp up this week that I'm looking to jump on. I believe Replimune has about an 85 to 90% chance of approval, so it's a risk I'm willing to take while trading it. At opening today, Replimune was trading at about $11, and I'm looking to get in and get out at a target price of $14 to $16 during the ramp up and before the action date of July 22nd, which would roughly be about a 25 to 50% increase in share price during this time. Not bad for a trade made within a week, but that's why I don't see Replimune as being a long-term solver for Verona Pharma being sold. That's it for today. Hopefully you guys all enjoyed this episode. As always, if you enjoy this type of content, make sure to like and subscribe. I'll be leaving you guys with a riddle about the next stock that I'll be swapping in place of Verona next week. I stand tall but shrink with time. My only crime is giving light. I flicker soft through darkest night. What am I?